Alright, so here's what I got. I got this T made up with a piece of 1/4-inch hose or airline, DOT airline. That's a 3/8 on the ends. There's a 3/8 hose under the truck that runs all the accessories on that solenoid pack down there I was telling you about. And one thing I forgot to mention is that hose does not have any air pressure until it reaches 70 psi, because it's on the after the tractor protection valve. And why that's important to tie in there is this fan clutch. Say if you crank the truck when it's don't have any air and it starts building up, and you tie this into a circuit that builds up as the truck builds up, it's gonna slip the fan clutch, you know, when it's slowly releasing the spring in there. By tying it into this circuit's not gonna put out any air until 70 psi, and then it'll apply it all at once, which will release the fan clutch. So I'm gonna crawl under the truck, cut that hose, splice this in there, run this up across the transmission top, and it's gonna come out up here on the firewall. Now what I did, I mounted the solenoid right there. That line's gonna come in right here, comes out right here, runs down, around, I'll tie that up in a little bit, goes to the fan clutch right there, as you can see. Alright, now the wires, I just grounded the solenoid right there to itself. I tied a hot wire right here into the windshield wiper motor. That is a fused circuit, and that particular wire is only hot whenever the key is turned on. So this solenoid will only have power going to it when the key is turned on. That way the solenoid is not hot 24/7. It's only hot when the ignition is on and the truck's running. So I'll come off of that, I run a wire over, I tie it into the temperature sensor right there in the thermostat housing. I then come from the temperature sensor and went down, come around over here from the thermostat housing there, come down into this hack job of an AC line I got here that I wound up with, into this pressure sensor on the high side of the air conditioner. Then I come from this sensor back to the solenoid over there. So these are normally closed, so it passes current. When I turn the key on, it'll pass current all the way through here, all the way back to the solenoid, and that solenoid will open. Whenever air pressure builds up to a 70 psi, that valve under the truck will open, the tractor protection valve, and it will send 70 psi to the fan clutch. Now as the air builds on up, you know, the air will be on up 130 or so, but 70 psi will release the fan clutch and will not cause any clutch wear. So I just got to get under the truck and get that hooked up, and then we'll see if it operates. Alright YouTube, I got that final hose there hooked up from down there on top of the transmission. I got my air conditioning line brazed up right there where I tried to put that line tap on there, and it poked a hole in it, and then I over tightened it and messed it up and then couldn't use it, so I went back and brazed the hole up. That's the air buzzer going off. Increase RPM here. We'll build up air a little faster. We'll turn the air conditioner on. So the clutch will start cycling. So where I brazed that line at, right there where that rubber hose is at, when I punctured it with that tap that you screw the pressure sensor onto, and I messed up, I brazed the line up, but it didn't hold. It had a little leak in it, and I think the brazing rod I used was actually for a copper line. I didn't know what it was for. It seemed to go on there halfway decent, but it didn't seal up good. So I got a double flaring tool for flaring the end of lines, like brake lines and stuff. And so I used that to put a knurl on the end of the line so the hose would hold. And that's high pressure AC line with double clamps. I've seen people try to use a line on a line without a knurl on it, and it won't hold. Used to see that all the time working on transmissions and stuff. Used to have an automotive shop before I got into this trucking, but people would cut transmission lines and try to piece it together like that right there, but they wouldn't put a knurl on the line, just a slick line, and eventually those the hose deteriorate a little bit and the clamps will get loose and it'll blow apart, burn the transmission up. But so that's got a flare on it in there. I know you can't see it, but it does. And clamps right behind the knurl so it seals and it shouldn't blow apart.